Yeah, episode 67 hourly podcast. I'm on offer to do Eds. My co-host, my brother, my brethren Ethan isn't here today. Something came up for him, but we've got favorite guest of the show, Anthony. Anthony, my main man. How you doing, son?
Yeah, I'm really good, mate. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Brilliant weekend of football, might I say. Which game do you want to start with? Do you want to start with
Should we
our
start with what
game?
we just watched?
I
Oh
mean,
my God.
we can start with that. Cool. So Manchester City, Man United at Old Trafford. Manchester City won 3-0. You start off, mate. Boys versus men. I truly believe that.
Mate, when you talk about levels, like that is levels. That was unbelievable. And I think you going to talk about having a hangover, about City having a treble hangover.
I thought they did because they haven't looked at but the thing is they haven't looked as potent as they did last season. I don't know if it's maybe it's kind of like the monkey off their back. They finally won it, so they can put some, even for everyone. That's everyone from top to bottom. You know, from the CEO, the directors, everyone. It's kind of like we've done it now.
You've done it exactly, yeah. And especially not just to win the Champions League, but to do the treble as well. You know what I mean? It's massive. But today, everything seemed to click. They were unbelievable. And I know Silva got man of the match, and Silva was phenomenal. But I thought the three, Silva, Foden and Grealish, were incredible. Yeah. And it just looked like City of old at their best. It was just playing across, playing through the lines. United didn't know what to do. I think Neville kept saying the substitution at halftime did not work whatsoever, bringing on Mason Mount. I don't know.
I mean, they're playing what, 3-4 number 10s. It just doesn't make sense. Exactly, it just doesn't. Exactly. It just doesn't.
Exactly, I know. McTominay looked their most dangerous player in the first half. Then they put him to defensive midfield. That didn't work. But how do you cope with it?
I mean that centre half pairing as well doesn't help, does it? I mean, it's slow as a snail against a guy like Haaland. I mean, he doesn't. He's not the most mobile in terms of his style of play,
but he's so still. Clever.
But when he's so clever, so strong, and when he does get that 10 yards to run, those guys ain't catching him. I just didn't. He just set up the team terribly wrong.
The header just before half time and then the goal.
What a save. That was a save.
What a great save. And they were both exactly the same. But if you watch him, this is how clever he is. He knows Bernardo Silva's got the ball. He knows what he's going to do. So he pulls to the back post because he knows he's just going to stand it up both times. He's just so clever. And it's knowing. I listened to someone talk the other day. It's Thierry Henry actually, talking about when different players had the ball. He talked about what Arsene Wenger said to him.
Can Lundberg see you? Yeah.
Freddie Lundberg, and he says, have you seen that little clip? Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. And
he says, knowing what to do when certain players have got the ball. I know when Bergkamp's got the ball, I'm going to make this run. When Pires has got the ball. And that's with Haaland. He'll know, especially with De Bruyne, he knows where to make the run because he knows what De Bruyne can do. And today with Silva, he knew he was just going to chip that to the back post. And brilliant. They were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
It's a well-oiled machine, I think, isn't it? And in terms of like everyone knows they have a specific role and they know, because you like speaking on Omri has said in the past that Pep would get annoyed if he didn't stay within a certain space. Even if he scored, Pep would be screaming at him saying, "No, you have to remain here. I want you here." And I kind of think that's the reason why they didn't play Doku today, because he's a bit erratic with his style of play. Whereas this type of game, you need composure, and plus Grealish has got the experience and stuff.
Yes, and Grealish had that in his first season, didn't he?
Yeah,
he didn't do it because he didn't understand the patterns of play. It took him a season to work it all out, and he'd be getting the ball and he'd be doing things that he was doing at Aston Villa, and Pep was going mad, bringing him off, not playing him, and he was thinking, "What's going on?" Now he gets the whole. It's all about patterns of play because it's repeated and repeated and repeated. If you watch the game from today, everything's repeated. They do the same moves all the time because they just learn these patterns of play in training and then take it into a game, and they are the best at it. They are by the best at it.
And their strength and depth is just ridiculous. I mean, like Rico Lewis didn't even play.
No,
do you know what I mean? What's his name from Chelsea? He didn't even play.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
You talk about Doku there. I think the way Trossard is getting for us really is an impact player for coming off the bench. Like you say, he might not get the start of play yet, but you bring him on with 20 minutes to go, he is going to cause massive trouble. And I think we'll probably get onto Arsenal later, but Trossard's are getting a little bit like that. When he starts, he don't seem the same player.
Yeah.
When he comes on, he has an impact always.
Yeah, and I do like Doku. But in terms of United. But you could see this coming like ages ago. Like they just signed all the wrong players. Like, you know, even Sancho, he was the wrong signing. Mason Mount was the wrong signing. This Haaland, the striker they got, he seems decent, but he doesn't seem like a number one guy. Do you know what I mean?
Not yet. He's a kid. He's still a kid. They're pinning all their hopes on him.
Yeah,
it's the biggest club in the world, Man United. Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're up there with them two. And all of a sudden, you've got this. What is he, 19 or something? Everyone's
something silly like that. Yeah,
they're pinning all their hopes on him. I just think I don't know what's happened. Ten Hag last year, I thought he is the man. This fella, I thought he spoke really well, but
never
now
thought it. Never thought
did
it.
you not think?
No, I've never been a fan of it. And goes on to my next question: does he see the season?
So it's a good question, you know. Depends where they are at Christmas, I suppose. Christmas before the January transfer window. I mean, I don't know. Are they?
Because he's made some big decisions. He ran Ronaldo out the club. He's going to run Sancho out the club. You stripped Maguire of captaincy, right? You never played him, and then the whole media's getting onto his back, and then they're trying to turn it back on like the fans and stuff. When the manager himself has done it, do you know what I mean? Like you've bought the wrong player, like. And Johnny Evans is your substitute centre back. Like and Varane, where's Varane? We don't know what's going on with him. Like I
know.
It's just terrible. But also maybe from the top down, you know what I mean? Because they don't really care. Like it's just bad organisation from top down. And
exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's rotten. They're rotten to the core at the moment. I mean, I don't know what's it like you say with Varane. It's a mystery. And the signings of. I think Mount's a really good player, but is he what they needed? And to spend that sort of money on him, don't think so.
They need a box-to-box guy.
Yeah. He is in trouble. He is in trouble. He needs to turn it around quick. But the thing is, with United, people thought they turned the corner a little while ago. They beat Burnley 1-0, very luckily away. They beat Sheffield United last week. Was it 1-0 last Saturday night?
Something like that.
It was tight. Copenhagen in the week. Should have had at least a draw, missed a penalty in the last minute. So they're only scraping wins. The last three people going, they've turned it around, they've won the last three, but they scraped them against Burnley, Sheffield United, and Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So today they got shown, they got taught a lesson today.
When Sancho does eventually leave, what do you think? Do you reckon he stays in Europe? Does he go Saudi or does he go to America?
How old is he now? He can't go to Saudi or America, surely.
You never know, man. Apparently his missus is from New York, so you don't know.
Really?
Maybe 24, I want to say, 23, 24.
It's just a waste, isn't it? It's a waste.
Big money. He's on big money, they're saying.
Yeah, I know. And this the thing is, people are saying that Ten Hag, if he apologises, he'll be back in. And
it's too late for that.
It's too late. He's gone past it now. He's not even training with them, is he? He's training with the kids or training away. What a waste! What a waste of a talent. I mean, they chased him for over 2 years as well. He was
the wrong signing, though. He was the wrong signing
for big money as well. You know, and I don't know where he goes. It's a really good question. I don't know. We go back to Germany. Spain might suit him because he's not the quickest in the world.
He's not the fastest. He's not the
fastest, but he's got good skill. Spain isn't like the Premier League. It's not 100 miles an hour, so it might suit him. Or Italy might suit him.
I was going to say Italy, yeah. But the wages they're saying he's on 300 a week. I don't know what other team. I don't know what other team would be able to afford. Like, I just don't see it. Like, I just don't.
That's when you need to look at players. Not many players are willing to do it, but he obviously don't need the money. Would you be willing to take a pay cut to go and play every week? Some players are not that bothered about playing if they're getting that money. But would he be willing to go down to, it might sound stupid to go down to 150 grand a week, but be playing every week? You know what I mean? It depends how hungry he is for it.
Yeah, you're right. All right, cool. Let's go on to another game. Reluctantly, Spurs are top of the table. They won 2-1 against Crystal Palace. One was an own goal, but Heung-min Son got the other one. Under Ainge, he's a media darling, so everyone's hyping him up and stuff like that. But what have you thought of them lots thus far? Like overperformed, underperformed, or what?
No, overperformed. They look good. Madison looks so good. The kid at the back is unbelievable. Van der Ven.
Which one? Oh, Van der Ven. Yeah.
He is
even
quick.
The left back's nice. The Italian one, the black guy.
Ndoggy,
Ndoggy,
he is a good player. Saka had him on toast for about 15-20 minutes in the game at the Emirates, and then didn't go past him again. And got him. He was booked early, and then should have kept trying to take him on. But Saka does what he reverts to every night. He just kept passing it back to Ben White. He needs to be more. We'll get on to Arsenal, I know, but I was about to say I'm worried about him. I am worried a little bit, but they. I'll tell you what, they've got a little run now. We've got a decent run. coming up, other than Newcastle. We've got Newcastle away Saturday, and then we've got a decent run of it. It's Luton, Burnley, Wolves. I don't know if that's the right order, but they've got a tricky run, Tottenham. So I think the next 4 or 5 games are tricky for Tottenham. So we'll see where they are after that. Because people get saying it about Arsenal, didn't they, last year?
Yeah.
Once they get a tricky run of games, we went to Christmas. We went all the way through. We were top virtually all of the season. But I don't know if they can withstand it. If they've two tough games on the bounce, I think they might come unstuck soon. But they've been brilliant, and it has really, really shocked me because I thought just without Kane, they look so fluid without Kane.
Yeah,
like the changing of the 3 up front, Son, Kulusevski, and Maddison, they're all. They look a proper side now, whereas before it was just trying to get the ball to Kane. Son, I was obsessed with Kane. Try and give Kane the ball. Son was dreadful last season, wasn't he? And they look really fluid going forward.
Yeah. Chelsea 0, Brentford 2. Chelsea are just like absolute shocker, aren't they, man? Like so much money's been spent, but like it's just like if a player is under 25 and he's expensive, we'll have him. Do you know what I mean? Like
give him an 8-year contract.
Yeah, give him 8-year contracts and stuff. And like I don't know, I just think you need veteran presence and guys that have been established and stuff. And they've sold all their veteran guys. And I get why they're doing it. They're buying guys with resale value. But it's been a shocker for them lots. What have you made of them?
Oh, mate. I mean, where the performance against us came from, I don't know. They've looked dreadful in every other game, and they look decent against us. Again, we all know it's it's not the first time someone said it, but they need a striker so bad. I don't know if they're pinning all their hopes on this and Cuckoo. I don't know too much about him.
He's a good player. No, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's really good.
Is he the one? Can he score?
He can score goals. He can score goals, man. He's good, yeah.
I mean, I don't know when he's back, but they need to hope he hits the ground running. It's going to be tough after an injury like that to go, start scoring straight away. But they look so bad. I'd only seen clips of yesterday. We went to look at a wedding venue yesterday, actually. So I didn't see it. We went to a pub to look at the wedding, and it was on in the pub, so I was sort of getting glimpses of it. But they and to be honest, Brentford haven't been great this season. They haven't been great at all, and they've gone and done a job on them yesterday.
Yeah, it's just a good team, coached by Brentford. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the manager's really, really good manager. All right, cool. Let's talk about us lot. 5-0. But this is the thing. Like I've ranted about Nketiah so much, and people think I have a personal vendetta. I don't. He's my fellow countryman, as you can see. I like the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you look at his record in paper, it's not that bad in terms of like Premier League stats. I got it here. I've seen a photo of it on Match of the Day. I think it was for Arsenal. It was something like overall Premier League for Arsenal, appearances 99, 33 starts, 19 goals. Now on paper that's not that bad, but what happens is he'll score 3 against this team, but then he won't score for like 4 weeks.
Yes, I know.
You know what I mean? And then it's the games where it's like we need, like a Chelsea game, bro, we need a goal.
Yeah.
But the type of player I want him to play is like that last goal he scored, the one outside the box.
Yeah, I've never seen him shoot outside the box.
Because he's booming with confidence, but we need that more because he has got it in his locker. Because under 21s, I think he's like the record goal.
He's a record goal scorer. He is. Yeah,
when he went Leeds on loan, he was scoring goals for fun. So I just don't understand what it is. Like I don't think he can be a true number one, but I just think like you've got more in your locker. Like that's what frustrates me. If he was any guy, I wouldn't care. But because I know he has the ability, it's like, do you know what I mean? And also it's the fact that him and Gabriel Jesus, very similar type in terms of body type, structure, the type of goals they score. Now, Gabriel Jesus got a bit more about playmaking to him, but games where we're a bit stuck is always why I say we need someone that's a bit of an aerial threat. Like if we had a Giroud in this team, it would be phenomenal. Do you know what I
was going to say? I just wrote down a little bit earlier when you sent me what I was going to talk about, and something about this mad you said Giroud, because something about Nketiah and Giroud are a little bit similar, and it's bear with me with this one. Like he seems to score Nketiah at times where everyone's talking about, do we need to sign someone in January, right?
I think we do.
I think we do. But this happened with Giroud so much where everyone screams, we need because Giroud was a prolific goal scorer, and people go, we need a proper goal scorer. He was a good hold up, bringing other people into play. We need a goal scorer. And then Giroud will go and score a hat-trick or 2 goals, and it's got an unbelievable overhead kick or something like that. and then everyone will go, oh, maybe he's all right. And Nketiah's the same. He won't score for ages. Then he'll do something and out of the blue, score a couple, go on a little run of scoring in 3 consecutive games, something like that. And then everyone go, oh, maybe we're all right. And this is the thing. He'll go and score on Wednesday, Nketiah, in the League Cup, right, against West Ham. He might get another couple while Jesus is out in the lead up to Christmas. All of a sudden, we're in January and you think, well, we don't need another striker because Nketiah has now turned the corner. And then he won't score for 10 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Giroud used to do exactly the same thing. Everyone would be screaming and he'd score. And go. We've had that for years. And going back, my dad used to, we used to have a player called Perry Groves, right? At Arsenal, when I first started going to Arsenal. And he was useless, right? He was absolutely useless. But he'd come on and always score. He'd always score. Like, we'd be 4-0 up and he'd get the 5th. And we'd have to go, oh, for God's sake, Perry Groves just scored. Like, that means he's going to play next week. You know what I mean? It's one of them where, and then the board will look at it, and Arteta might even still go to the board and say, listen, I need 100 million, whatever, or what if we want Tony 60 million, 70 million for a striker, and they say, well, look, Nketiah's scoring, and it's although I want to see him score, it sounds silly, but I want to see him score, but it's just papering over the cracks.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, and we need to learn from last year's mistakes and strike while the iron's hot. Strike when the iron's hot and get a guy, Victor Osimhen, Ivan Toney, one of those two guys. And how long have I been telling you about this? For like at least 2-3 years, I've been telling you about Victor Osimhen. And there's only people catching up now. And I think this is the best time to get him. He's got, I think, 18 months left on his deal. Obviously, he's not happy with the situation that happened with Napoli.
Is like, go
get him.
Injured? Is he injured or something?
I don't even know. I haven't really been following Serie A too tough, but this is the time, and just go get him now. Get him now. 100 to 120. Just put the money in.
Go and get him.
He'll win the league.
I think Tony's a great player, but when you break it down, when you break his goals down, they're not Arsenal goals. They're not. Brentford are unbelievable. So we're decent at set pieces, but they put so much emphasis on set pieces, getting crosses in. We don't put crosses in.
We don't put crosses in.
Very rarely. So Tony's phenomenal, but I don't think he's an Arsenal player. Osimhen's an Arsenal player. You know, he's quick, he's strong.
Yes.
He'll press. That's a
tall
big thing.
as well. Tall as well.
Exactly.
We need that. And he scores headers.
He scored head. Yeah, exactly. So I'll go and get him. But whether we've spent 100 mil on Rice, how much we spend? 200 mil in the summer. I don't think they'll go and give it. I don't think they'll give us another 100 mil.
I'll take, if you want Kai Havertz, go have him, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because that guy is just underwhelmed. Like, and I don't want to like bash him and stuff, but he's just that was a pointless signing for me. Like, Smith Rowe's right there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't. And what about we've still got the young guy. Remember the young guy they've been raving about from last year? What's his name? Ethan, whatever his name.
Noeri, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he came on last year, he was 15, whatever, like, and everyone's raving about him. I don't know if they're just, they're waiting to like bring him in like slowly, casually, but I'd rather play him than 60 odd for because Kai Havertz, they said he's meant to be a dynamic front man. And we all lied to ourselves, like, yeah, he can do it. I was never really satisfied. Obviously, we do the podcast with Ethan, one of my other buddies, Dennis, a Chelsea fan. They can't stand him. And they were like, you don't have him, fuck it. Like, do you know what I mean? And really? It's just frustrating.
I just got to a point where, after what Arteta did last season, I thought to myself, well, if Arteta wants him, he must be good. You know, I mean, obviously, we've all seen him. And I thought Arteta's seen something in him that no one else can see. He's got this position, this Xhaka position that he played last year. I never thought I'd ever say that we missed Xhaka at the start of the season. I think we were missing him in that role. Yeah. He tried to play Rice in that role. He needs to stop doing any experiments. Rice is one of the best players I've ever seen at Arsenal. When you go and watch him, it's incredible.
How commanding is he? How commanding is he in the middle?
It's not even about being commanding. It's about I've never seen someone read the game as well as he does. There'll be the other team be attacking. He'll read a pass 3 passes before that pass has been made. Like, he'll be there. He knows exactly what teams are going to do. He's so intelligent. But in that 6, he has to play in that 6. Stop playing him in that.
But he's gotten better at pushing the ball forward, though. He has. But
in that 6 role, breaking up and bursting forward from there. He done it against Seville on Tuesday night. There was one bit where he won the ball near our own corner flag, and just sprinted through. And that's what he does. Just in that. I don't think he should play in that Xhaka role. He's tried him there a bit and playing Jorginho in the holding role. Obviously, Partey, when he gets back, he's going to. He wanted to try and get them two in the team at the same time at the start of the season, playing Partey right back. That don't work. That did not work at all. But I would now Rice and Odegaard, build the whole team around Rice and Odegaard. Saliba, Rice, Odegaard. That's what they've got to build it around. Saliba's been best centre back in the world at the minute.
I would say that as well, man. I can't fault you there. But yeah, speaking on Partey, injured again. How long is that out? Is it say a couple of weeks or what?
A couple of weeks, it said, yeah. I mean, but you never know what the injury is as well. It's never sort of, they always just say he's injured and that's it. I go, oh, okay, well, what's happened? I looked at some stats earlier, right? He's in the 3 seasons he's been there, 24 games, 34 last season. So this is in the Premier League. So he only missed 4 games last season. So he did all right last season. The first 2, 24 and 24. He's only played 4 this season. Compared to Odegaard, 36 last season, 36 season before last, 37 last season, and he's played 9 this season.
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with someone last year when we were flying, saying Partey had played every game and Odegaard played every game. I remember saying who's going to be harder to replace if they get injured, Odegaard or Partey. And it's now Odegaard's just ever present. He doesn't miss a game. He got rested yesterday, which was brilliant. Hopefully he gets rested on Wednesday, ready for Saturday.
Yeah.
But Partey, 24. That's the 2 seasons only made 24 appearances in the Premier League. That's 14 games he's missed each season.
Yeah.
And he's such a good player as well. I don't know how he'd work. I don't know how he's going to shoe all the 2 of them in the team, Rice and Partey. But just showing what he did when he came against Man City was brilliant. Yeah. But, sort of assist for the goal, really. He played the ball up to Tomiyasu, didn't he?
Raya Ramsdale, your thoughts on it?
When he first
I don't think it can work. I don't think it can work.
No. When he first did it, I, again, trusting Arteta, I said, yeah, I know what he's doing. He's been ruthless, absolutely, because I love Ramsdale. Every Arsenal supporter loves Ramsdale. Yeah. But Ramsdale, you look at last season, not many people picked up on it, but when we drew West Ham 2-2, he should have the Bowen goal. I think it was Bowen that sort of bounced over him. He should have saved that. Then we played Southampton the next week, and he gave the ball to them in the first seconds, and they scored.
I remember that.
Arteta might be looking at that and thinking, mate, them 2 mistakes virtually cost us the league. I'm going to be ruthless and bring someone else in. But Raya, I was with him at the start. After the other night against Seville, I don't know, man. Did you see that punch at the end?
Yeah, but even the Chelsea game, he wasn't the best. No. You know what I mean? Like that one, the Mudryk one. Even though it was a fluke, he shouldn't be getting beaten from that.
He shouldn't be there. I mean, he was past his front post. He was in front of his front post. Like, it was a ridiculous position to take up. But people keep saying this is what Arteta's telling him to do. He's just obeying orders. I don't know. He needs to get through this little. He's going to be put under pressure Saturday against Newcastle. I know that. But he needs to get through it. Any more mistakes, Ramsdale could be back.
Yeah. If Salah leaves Liverpool in January, which is expected to happen because, Saudis, they want him, who do you think they can get to replace him? Or is it as easy as that? Or do you think they're gonna be real trouble, them lot?
I don't think they'll go and replace him in January. I think they'll stick with what they got. If he does go in January, they got Jota, Gakpo, Nunes. I think they'll stick with them. Who else they got? They got someone else up front. I can't think.
Lewis.
Diaz. Yeah, he's a great player. Diaz. I think he's a great player. I think they'll stick with that, and then maybe look at it in the summer. I mean, if they get silly money for him, what they were talking about, 200 million or whatever, in the summer, then they can go and get who they want, really. But then again, who's out there? No one's out there at Salah's level. I was
just gonna say the next thing I wrote on the list is Neto, who, I mean, injuries keep hampering this guy, and he is so good, man. Like, honestly, he had the knee injury and then the hamstring one. He looked like he was about to cut in and shoot it against Newcastle yesterday, and then the hammy pulled. I wouldn't mind him in Arsenal colours, to be honest, but yeah,
we have been linked, haven't we? We have been linked quite a lot.
Because he's a player. Sandro Tonali banned for 10 months for betting on games that he was also involved in. Tony's been in trouble with this as well. In the NFL, we've seen it. So it's becoming more of a thing with players and gambling and so forth and so forth. Remember, I think Sturridge as well got in trouble. I think.
Yeah. Kieran Trippier got in trouble.
So is it a thing of, has this always been in football, or is it just more recent now? Is it just because it's the phones, the apps on your phone? Yeah, is it just because because these guys got so much time on their hand? They're in the hotels before home games, which I never understood and stuff like that. Like what was it? I know you said you had some insight into like the
so I spoke to spoke to my cousin Johnny, who's manager of AFC Wimbledon. He won't mind me saying this. And so Johnny played for Tottenham. So he played Premier League, and then he played then he went to Charlton, spent a lot of time at Charlton, 10 years at Charlton. So he played Premier League, Championship, and League One. Right? That's what he's played all his career. And I've asked him about Tony and asked him about Tonali, and he said there are no grey areas whatsoever. They know that they can't bet on football. So they have a PFA member come in at the start of every single season to talk to all the players. And he said this today, John. I spoke to him earlier. And he said to come in, talk to the players. Not that they need talking to, because everybody knows. Johnny loves a bet, absolutely loves a bet. Horse racing, golf, loves a golf bet, cricket, snooker, everything. He loves a bet. And the times I've texted him, say Sky bet the £5 bet on Arsenal v Tottenham, and I've texted him and said, "Oh, it's a 3-5 run Sky bet." Amount of times he texted back and said, "You know, I can't bet on football. I'll keep forgetting." He's never ever he won't entertain anything talking about betting on football. So they all know. And Johnny's, he's played predominantly League One and Championship football all his life. So Premier League players must be told, they must have it drilled into them what the rules are. And same for Serie A. So there's no excuse. They know they can't. They know they can't. There's not. I don't buy all addicted to betting. Addicted to betting. If it's gambling you're addicted to, then they should just be betting on horse racing. They know they're not allowed to bet on football, especially games you're involved in. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Because it questions the integrity of, like, if you're giving your all and stuff, like, innit? Like, you might put yourself as $5,000 to get booked or whatever and stuff like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And even things like, even if people might think it might not sound that bad if you've had 10 grand on yourself to score. But then you look at it, you start breaking things down, and he could be clean through, he could be on the edge of the area, have someone who's clean through past him, and he'd be trying to shoot himself. It does. It questions the integrity of everything. But like I say, Johnny has said, absolutely no grey areas. They all know they're not allowed to bet. Oh. So no one can say I didn't understand the rules.
Yeah. All right, cool. Last topic before you go, buddy. I want to speak about an Englishman in Spain by the name of Jude Bellingham, and the form that he's on playing for Real Madrid is absolutely because the thing is, obviously everyone knows Real Madrid is my second team. Yeah. And a lot of the coverage you see from like some media outlets and fans always say, "Oh, he scores tap-ins. He scores tap-ins." Even if he is scoring tap-ins, your favorite striker would love to score those tap-ins because it's footballing IQ to be in the right position. And it's not all like he scored one the other day. I think it was against Sevilla. He dribbled past 3-4 players. The one against the other day, he banged it outside the box. Like, he is so, like, I always knew he was a great player, but I think maybe it's a case of iron sharpens iron, and because he's around Cruz, Modric, Tchouameni, Camavinga, and Vinicius Junior stuff, like, he's realizing that I've actually got another level to this, and Ancelotti putting him in another. And I feel like, what have you thought of it? Like, how good can he be? Do you think? Do you think he could be better than the golden generation midfielders? Do you think?
Honestly, mate, he's unbelievable. You just talked about getting little tap-ins and things like that, and you said like you'd love your striker to be doing that. He's not a striker. He's not even a striker.
He's not even a 10. He's a box-to-box guy.
Box-to-box, but he's got we go back to what we talked about with Haaland. He's got the intelligence, football intelligence, and it comes natural. They know where the ball's going to land. They'll see someone about to put a cross in. They know where to run to. Like you say, them goals where he bundles them in. It's not no fluke. He knows where the ball's going to drop. He knows what to do. He is incredible. The goal yesterday was unbelievable. Although I think maybe the goalkeeper might have saved it on another day. But it's just brilliant, and it's just great for an English player to have the bollocks to go out. He's gone out to Germany, now he's gone to Spain. It's very, very rare an English kid goes away. It's starting to get more and more common now, especially with Germany.
Yeah.
English players going out there. But I love
I have to say this as well. He's a black man in Spain as well. You have to put emphasis on that because you know how they're like. Do you know what I mean? You know what they're like.
Yeah, and Vinicius Junior got
again. Yeah, it did. And last week as well.
Yeah, they're in medieval times. They're so far behind. It's unbelievable. I mean, how can they still be giving people racist abuse? It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. But I remember. I think I said it on the podcast to you last year that I thought if we won the league, we could have a chance of getting Bellingham. Right? If we won the league last year, because what we were building, everyone's young. he's probably friends with Saka from England. And I thought, oh, maybe if we win the league and everyone people want to buy into Arteta and all that, I don't know, it weren't to happen. But he'll have 3 or 4 years there, and he will come to England.
I don't think he will. I think he's going to stay there. I think he's going to retire there. I think he is.
Serious?
I think right now he is the gold. Like, I think he's surpassed in his short time, has passed Vinicius Jr. as being the golden boy of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I think the Spanish media love him as well. I think the fact that he's an Englishman as well, the brand deals and stuff he can get. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and I feel like Adidas are going to want him to stay because he's an Adidas guy as well. Remember, Real Madrid, that's their sponsor.
That's a good point, actually.
I think all these things play into factor. I think he's there for the next 10, 15, I think.
That's the thing, because he's so young. He's got another 10 years.
He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. So
I love his celebration as well. He just stands there.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
He knows how good he is, doesn't he?
And
I love it when he plays for England. When we played against Scotland, when we beat him a little while ago, he loved it. He knows what it means. You know what I mean? And he's brilliant. And he's meant to have a really, really good family around him.
They said his dad was a amateur pro footballer as well. You know what I mean? And his mom they say his mom's a good person. And not only that, he's got a younger brother. It's just a footballing family, athletic football. Sunderland, yeah.
I've got a family friend, Sarah's cousin, who is a Sunderland season ticket holder, and I saw him last week actually, and I said, "What's he like?" And he said, "Unbelievable." He said, "Obviously not at his brother's level, because there's no one else in the world at his brother's level, but he said he's a player, so he'll probably have a couple of years at Sunderland and someone will come and get him."
Yeah, I'm surprised he left. What's it called, Birmingham City.
Birmingham, Sunderland must have come in, offered him a few quid.
Yeah, maybe offered him more game time as well and stuff.
Possibly,
Yeah, but mate, I won't keep you for much longer. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man.
And yeah, man. And you're welcome anytime, man. Honestly.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Ed. Tell Ethan I said hello. Yeah,
I will do. Speak to you, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks, Ed. See you later, mate. Bye.